Welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to explore one of the most fascinating and overlooked coins in history, the 1967 KP Mint Mark half-penny coin. This coin may appear small in size, but it holds a story that is much larger than its physical presence, a story that ties together history, economy, coin design, minting techniques, collector demand, and of course the modern market value, which today can reach as high as $63,000. To understand the 1967 KP Mint Mark half-penny coin, we must first step back into the broader history of half-penny coins. Half-pennies were once an important part of the currency system used across many countries, including the United Kingdom and its former colonies. For centuries, the half-penny was an essential coin for everyday trade. It allowed people to purchase small goods, pay for services, and keep commerce running smoothly in markets, street corners, and shops. The half-penny circulated freely and was valued as an integral part of society. The 1967 half-penny itself was minted during a period of transition. The 1960s were an era of change in coinage. The world was shifting toward decimalization, and many nations began to rethink their currency systems. The United Kingdom, for example, was preparing for decimal currency, which officially arrived in 1971. The old system of pounds, shillings, and pence would soon become a relic of the past. This meant that the half-penny, though still minted in 1967, was already facing the shadow of obsolescence. Collectors today look back at this as a crucial time period, a moment when the older style of coinage was beginning to vanish. Now, what makes the 1967 KP Mint Mark half-penny especially rare is the unique mint mark. The KP Mint Mark is tied to a specific minting batch that was never widely released into circulation. Unlike millions of ordinary half-pennies struck in 1967, only a very limited number of coins bore this particular mint mark. Because of this rarity, collectors across the globe prize the 1967 KP Mint Mark half-penny coin as a treasure. When a coin is both historically significant and scarce, it naturally draws strong interest from the numismatic community. Let us look at the design of the coin. The obverse, or front of the coin, features the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, who was at the height of her reign in the 1960s. The engraving shows her profile with the dignified crown and inscription surrounding her. The reverse side displays the image of the Golden Hind, the famous ship of Sir Francis Drake. This ship was a legendary vessel that circumnavigated the globe, and its appearance on the half-penny symbolized adventure, exploration, and British maritime pride. The details of the ship are delicate and striking, making the coin not just money but also a piece of art. Collectors value coins based on several factors: rarity, condition, historical importance, and demand. The 1967 KP half-penny checks all these boxes. First, its rarity is beyond question. Only a handful of these coins are believed to exist with the KP Mint Mark. Second, its condition plays a huge role. A coin preserved in uncirculated or mint state condition can fetch astronomically higher prices than one that has been heavily used. Third, the historical importance cannot be ignored. The late 1960s were a turning point for British coinage, making this coin part of a short-lived era. And finally, demand is consistently high because collectors always chase coins that are unique and scarce. Now let us talk about the current market value of the 1967 KP Mint Mark half-penny. As of now, collectors have reported prices reaching up to $63,000 for coins in pristine condition. To think that such a small copper coin, once worth less than a penny, could now be worth a fortune is truly astonishing. This transformation of value highlights the power of numismatics and the passion of collectors who will pay large sums for rare items. But why exactly is this coin so valuable? For one, the number of surviving specimens is extremely low. Many half-pennies of 1967 were common, but the KP Mint Mark was produced in such limited quantities that it has become a legendary rarity. Second, the story behind the coin makes it even more appealing. A transitional coin minted just before decimalization carries a weight of history that collectors cannot resist. Third, when these coins appear in auctions, the bidding wars often drive the price higher and higher because everyone wants to claim ownership of this tiny piece of history. Imagine holding this coin in your hand. You are not just holding metal, you are holding a fragment of the 1960s, an era of cultural change, political transformation, and economic evolution. You are holding a coin that witnessed the twilight of the pre-decimal system. You are holding a coin tied to the reign of Queen Elizabeth during one of the most iconic decades of modern times, and you are holding a coin that only a few other people in the entire world may own. The thrill of owning such Rarity explains why collectors invest so heavily when we talk about coin values. It is also important to note that not all 1967 half pennies are valuable. In fact, millions of ordinary 1967 half pennies exist, and most of them are worth little more than a few cents. The key difference is the KP mint mark. That tiny detail turns a common coin into a treasure worth tens of thousands of dollars. So when people search their old collections drawers or inherited coin jars, they often wonder if they might have stumbled upon one of these rare KP mint mark pieces. Coin dealers and grading companies play a huge role in confirming authenticity. Professional grading services examine coins carefully under magnification. They verify mint marks, measure details, and provide official certifications. A certified 1967 KP mint mark half penny with a high grade can reach the upper end of the value spectrum, whereas uncertified or damaged coins may not fetch nearly as much. Certification not only guarantees authenticity, but also boosts confidence among buyers and sellers. The journey of this coin does not end with history or design. It also symbolizes how something ordinary can become extraordinary with time. When the coin was minted in 1967, nobody could have predicted its future worth. People used half pennies casually to buy gum, sweets, or small goods. They never imagined that decades later a select few of these coins would be treated like treasure chests worth thousands. The passage of time and the passion of collectors transformed its destiny. Another aspect that makes this coin fascinating is the human story behind it. Each rare coin has a journey. Who owned it first? How was it preserved? How did it escape circulation when millions of others were lost, melted, or discarded? The mystery adds depth to the coin. Collectors are not just buying metal, they are buying stories, legacies, and pieces of human history. Looking ahead, experts believe that the value of the 1967 KP half penny may continue to rise. Rare coins tend to appreciate over time, especially when demand exceeds supply. As more collectors enter the market, and as fewer examples remain available, the price could potentially climb beyond $63,000 in the future. Those who own one today may be holding an investment that will only grow stronger with time. This coin also teaches us a broader lesson about history and preservation. Small things often carry great meaning. What might seem insignificant today can turn into a valuable treasure tomorrow. This is why coin collecting is such a passionate hobby. It connects people to history, teaches them to value details, and offers the excitement of potentially finding hidden wealth in unexpected places. So if you happen to come across an old collection or an inherited set of coins, do not overlook the half pennies. Always examine them carefully. Look for the mint marks, study the details, and consider consulting with an expert. You never know, your coin could be one of the rare 1967 KP mint mark half pennies worth a small fortune. As we come to the close of this deep dive into the 1967 KP mint mark half penny coin, remember the key takeaways. This coin is rare. It is tied to the late 1960s era of change. It carries both historical and artistic value, and today it can command prices as high as $63,000. The world of coins is full of hidden gems, and this particular half penny proves that even the smallest piece of metal can tell an epic story. Thank you for joining me on this journey through coin history. If you enjoyed this exploration, make sure to subscribe, like, and share so you do not miss our upcoming deep dives into other rare coins and treasures. The adventure continues, and who knows, maybe the next coin we cover will be sitting right now in your own pocket or drawer. Until next time, stay curious, stay passionate, and always keep an eye out for history hidden in plain sight. Welcome to today's video, where we will dive deep into the fascinating world of numismatics and focus on a very rare and highly valuable coin, the 1976 No Mint Mark 1 franc coin. This coin has caught the attention of collectors, historians, and investors all over the world because of its rarity, its unique background, and its incredible market value today, which is estimated at $47,000. For many people, a simple 1 franc coin may seem ordinary, but when you take away the mint mark and place it within the historical context of France during the 1970s, the story becomes one of mystery, rarity, and value beyond imagination. Let us begin by going back to the mid-1970s. France was experiencing a period of transformation politically, economically, and socially. The franc had been the currency of France for centuries, but its modern versions came with various redesigns and minting practices. The 1976 issue was not particularly rare in general circulation, but what makes the no mint mark version so special is the fact that mint marks were used to identify the minting facility and quality of production. In France, coins carried marks to show their origin, yet somehow a batch of 1 franc coins left the mint without any such identifying mark. This era transformed what would have been a common coin into a treasure sought after by serious collectors. Coins without mint marks are not always immediately noticed by the public. People would often use them for daily transactions, never realizing that the small difference on the coin could mean the difference between a face value of 1 franc and a collector's value worth tens of thousands of dollars. It is this hidden rarity that gives the 1976 no-mint mark 1 franc coin such allure. For many years these coins circulated unnoticed until coin enthusiasts began identifying and cataloging them. The rarity of these no-mint mark coins was confirmed and soon their value started to rise. The design of the 1976 1 franc coin is also worth exploring in detail. On the obverse side, the coin features the image of Marianne, a national emblem of the French Republic symbolizing liberty and reason. Marianne is often shown wearing a Phrygian cap, which is a classic symbol of freedom and revolution. Her image on the coin represents the enduring values of the French people and connects the coin to the ideals of liberty, equality, and fraternity. On the reverse side you find the denomination marked as 1 franc along with motifs of olive branches symbolizing peace. This simple yet elegant design captures both the artistic and cultural identity of France in the 20th century. Now, when we speak of value in the coin collecting world, rarity plays the most important role. The 1976 no-mint mark 1 franc coin is not just a simple minting error, it is an error with historical significance. Unlike some mint errors that occur in large batches, this particular mistake happened in very small numbers. That limited supply combined with collector demand has driven the price to incredible heights. In auctions and private sales, the coin has been known to fetch prices as high as $47,000 depending on its condition. A coin in uncirculated or mint state condition can command the very highest price, while a circulated version, though still valuable, might sell for slightly less. Collectors are always fascinated by stories where ordinary coins turn into extraordinary treasures. The 1976 no-mint mark 1 franc coin is one of those stories. Imagine a coin that was worth almost nothing at the time of its release now being worth enough to buy a car or even place a down payment on a house. This transformation of value is why so many people become passionate about coin collecting. It is not just about money but about history preservation and the thrill of discovery. Holding such a coin is like holding a piece of history, a mistake made by the mint that slipped into circulation and survived the test of time. Let us also take a moment to talk about how to identify this coin. A regular 1976 1 franc coin will have its mint mark clearly visible, often a small symbol or letter representing the mint facility. But the no mint mark version lacks this entirely. When inspecting a coin, collectors use magnification tools and proper lighting to confirm whether the mint mark is missing or simply worn down. Authentic examples of the no mint mark coin show a clear absence of any mark, not just a faded or damaged area. This makes authentication very important because many coins may appear at first glance to be no mint mark when in reality the mark was simply rubbed away over years of circulation. Authentication services play a vital role in this market. Professional grading companies carefully examine these coins under strict conditions to certify whether a coin is genuine and to assign it a grade based on condition. A coin graded at the highest levels, such as mint state 65 or above, can command the absolute top prices at auction. Collectors rely on these grading services to ensure they are not paying tens of thousands for a coin that is not authentic. This professional backing adds confidence and stability to the coin's market. As for the historical significance of 1976 itself, it was a year marked by cultural and political shifts in France. It was the era of modernization of currency and a time when economic conditions were shaping Europe in new ways. Holding a coin from that period connects us to that historical backdrop. The absence of the mint mark adds to its symbolic story, almost as if the coin itself broke away from tradition and became a rebel among ordinary coins. This symbolic resonance adds another layer of intrigue for collectors who enjoy not just the physical coin but the story it tells. The market value of $47,000 for this coin is also a lesson in economics and scarcity. Coins are small objects of metal, yet when rarity combines with demand, their value can surpass even that of precious metals. Unlike gold or silver, which derive value from their material content, coins like the 1976 no mint mark 1 franc derive value from their story, their rarity, and their collectability. This is what makes numismatics so different from simple metal trading. It is about history, artistry, and scarcity blending together to create extraordinary value. Collectors around the world from Europe to North America and Asia are drawn to rare coins like this. International auctions often feature bidding wars where wealthy collectors compete fiercely to add such a rare specimen to their collections. The emotional satisfaction of owning a unique piece of history often outweighs even the financial aspect. For some it is about prestige, for others about completing a collection, and for many it is about preserving a historical artifact for future generations. Now imagine you are going through an old collection of coins passed down from your grandparents, or you find a box of coins at a flea market or antique shop. Among them could be a 1976 1 franc coin. To the untrained eye it may look like any other coin, but with careful observation you might realize there is no mint mark. At that moment you would be holding a potential fortune in your hands. This possibility is what keeps coin collecting exciting and why stories like this inspire people to start looking more closely at the coins they encounter every day. As we move toward the conclusion of this exploration, remember that the 1976 no mint mark 1 franc coin is not just a rare piece of metal. It is a symbol of how small mistakes can lead to great treasures. It is proof that history lives not only in books and monuments, but also in the smallest details of everyday life. The value of $47,000 is not just a number, it represents the intersection of history, rarity, and human fascination. Collectors will continue to hunt for this coin, and its legend will only grow stronger with time. So if you ever come across a 1976 1 franc coin, take a closer look. Inspect it carefully and see whether that tiny mint mark is missing. You may just have one of the rarest and most valuable coins ever produced in France. And who knows, perhaps you will be the next lucky collector to discover that a coin worth 1 franc on paper is in fact worth tens of thousands in reality. This story reminds us that sometimes the smallest things can carry the greatest value. Welcome back everyone to another exciting deep dive into the world of rare coins and hidden treasures that could be sitting in your pocket change right now. Today we are talking about a fascinating and mysterious coin that has shocked collectors, stunned the numismatic world, and made everyday people dream of becoming instant millionaires. The coin we are exploring today is none other than the 2004 no mint mark 5-cent coin. At first glance it might look like an ordinary nickel, but when you take a closer look and understand its history, rarity, and the unbelievable prices collectors are paying, you will realize that this small piece of metal is worth a staggering $980,000. Yes, you heard that correctly, nearly $1 million for a single 2004 no mint mark 5-cent coin. To understand why this coin is so valuable, we need to start with the history of the nickel itself. The United States 5-cent piece, more commonly known as the nickel, has been a cornerstone of American currency since the 1860s. Originally, nickels were struck with different designs like the shield nickel, the Liberty head, and later the buffalo nickel. In 1938, the Jefferson nickel design was introduced, featuring the portrait of President Thomas Jefferson on the obverse and his Virginia home, Monticello, on the reverse. This design stayed in circulation for decades with only minor adjustments until the early 2000s, when the United States Mint decided to honor the bicentennial of the Lewis and Clark expedition by introducing special westward journey nickel designs between 2004 and 2006. The year 2004 was particularly important because it introduced two brand new reverse designs for the nickel. The first design was called the peace medal, which depicted a handshake between two hands representing the peace agreement between Native Americans and European settlers. The second design was the keelboat, showing the famous boat used during the Lewis and Clark expedition. These designs were only struck in 2004, making them already special to collectors. However, the 2004 no mint mark nickel takes rarity to a completely different level. Normally, coins minted in Philadelphia are struck without a mint mark, while those from Denver have a D mint mark and those from San Francisco carry an S mint mark. By 2004, however, the practice of leaving Philadelphia coins completely blank had been discontinued for many denominations. In fact, almost all coins from that year should carry their appropriate mint marks. Yet somehow, a very limited batch of 2004 nickels was struck without any mint mark at all. These were not intended errors or special releases. They are believed to be the result of either minting mistakes, experimental dies, or accidental use of obsolete dies without the proper mint mark engravings. Because of this, the 2004 no mint mark nickel stands out as an anomaly, a coin that should not exist but somehow does. Collectors began to notice these coins appearing in circulation, and word quickly spread throughout the coin collecting community. What at first seemed like just another small mint error soon gained legendary status when experts realized how incredibly scarce these coins are. In fact, only a tiny handful have ever been confirmed, making them one of the rarest modern coins in existence. Now let us talk about why this coin is so valuable in today's market. In numismatics, value is determined by three major factors: rarity, demand, and condition. The 2004 no mint mark nickel checks all three boxes. First, its rarity is undeniable. Only a very small number exist, and the odds of finding one in your pocket change are astronomically small. Second, the demand is enormous. Collectors love rare coins, they love unusual varieties, and they especially love coins that break the rules of normal minting procedures. The idea of owning a nickel that technically should not exist drives prices sky high. And finally, condition plays a major role. Coins that are well preserved, uncirculated, and graded by professional services like PCGS or NGC will sell for significantly higher amounts compared to those with heavy wear. So how high are we talking about? The current record sale for a 2004 no mint mark nickel has shocked the collecting world. One example in near-perfect condition was auctioned for an unbelievable $980,000. That is just under $1 million for a 5-cent coin. To put that into perspective, if you found one of these in your change jar, you could retire early, pay off your debts, buy a home, or invest in a lifetime of opportunities, all from a coin that most people would overlook as just a regular nickel. It is important to understand that not every 2004 nickel is valuable. Millions of 2004 nickels were produced with normal mint marks, both the piece metal and keelboat designs, and these are common in circulation. Only those extremely rare ones without any mint mark at all carry this jaw-dropping value. That is why collectors and treasure hunters carefully examine their 2004 nickels under magnification, searching for the absence of the mint mark that separates an ordinary 5-cent coin from a fortune-changing discovery. Let us dive a little deeper into how these coins are authenticated. Professional coin grading services play a huge role in verifying rare coins like this. If you think you might have a 2004 no mint mark nickel, the first step is to carefully examine the obverse side of the coin where the mint mark would normally appear. If there is absolutely no mint mark, then you may have something special. However, there are many cases where coins suffer from weak strikes, damage, or where that makes the mint mark appear faint, or even invisible. This is why expert authentication is necessary. Submitting your coin to a grading company ensures that professionals can examine it under advanced equipment to confirm whether it is truly a no mint mark variety, or just an illusion caused by wear and tear. When a coin is authenticated and graded, it is sealed in a protective holder and assigned a grade based on its condition. Coins in lower circulated grades may still be valuable, but not nearly as much as those in pristine mint state condition. The record-setting $980,000 example was a mint state coin with near-flawless surfaces, which greatly boosted its final price at auction. The story of the 2004 no mint mark nickel also teaches us an important lesson about the hobby of coin collecting. It reminds us that treasures are still out there waiting to be found. Even in modern times, when millions of coins are struck by machines and tightly controlled by the US Mint, mistakes and anomalies still happen. These mistakes create opportunities for ordinary people to discover extraordinary value in something as simple as their spare change. Imagine the excitement of finding one of these coins. You are going through your pocket change after buying a cup of coffee, or you are searching through a roll of nickels from the bank, and suddenly you notice that something is missing on the coin. That missing mint mark could mean the difference between 5 cents and nearly $1 million. Stories like this inspire collectors to keep searching, keep learning, and keep dreaming. Now let us consider the future of the 2004 no mint mark nickel. Prices have already reached record levels, but could they go even higher? Many experts believe so. As time passes, more collectors enter the hobby, competition for rare coins grows, and the supply of these nickels remains fixed at only a tiny number. That means values are likely to increase, especially for top-graded examples. It would not be surprising to see one of these coins break the $1 million mark at a major auction in the coming years. For anyone interested in coin collecting, the 2004 no-mint mark nickel represents the perfect storm of history, rarity, and value. It is a modern coin with an ancient level of rarity, a mistake that turned into a treasure, and a reminder that sometimes the smallest details can make the biggest difference. So the next time you come across a 2004 nickel, take a moment to check it carefully. Look at the mint mark. If it has a D or an S, then it is just another regular coin. But if it is missing completely, then you may have just found one of the rarest and most valuable nickels in existence. Who knows, maybe your coin will be the next one to sell for $980,000 or even more. In conclusion, the story of the 2004 no-mint mark 5-cent coin is more than just about money. It is about history, mistakes that turn into miracles, and the thrill of discovery. It is about the passion of collectors and the endless hunt for hidden treasures in the most ordinary places. From the Westward Journey nickel program to the accidental creation of this no-mint mark rarity, this coin has earned its place among the legends of modern numismatics. And as long as people continue to collect, study, and admire rare coins, the legacy of the 2004 no-mint mark nickel will live on. So keep your eyes open, keep your change close, and never underestimate the value of the coins in your pocket. Because one day, you just might find a piece of history worth nearly $1 million.